Welcome to episode 3 of my 20mm World War II infantry review series. So today we're going to be looking at CP models, specifically their TQD castings range, as you can see on the screen at the moment. Now, if you enjoy the sculpts that you see here, which you should do, you can check them out at CP models. You go under shop, go down to the 20mm ranges, and you can see that there's a whole heap of different ranges you can go and look at in TQD castings. We will look at the CP models range in the future, but today I really wanted to highlight the TQD range that they've got. Now the range is extensive. It has US forces, France, Soviet Union, Britain, Germany obviously. There's just a whole heap in there with lots of different variety, from personality sets to just your generic sort of infantry. It's really worth going and checking out if you can. So to start off with, we are going to be looking at some US airborne. Now, as you can see straight off the bat, it comes with some bases. They've just disappeared now, but it comes with bases, which is a really nice touch, but we'll look at those in more detail in a little bit. So to start off with, we're going to look at a US Pathfinder. So this guy is probably more based for Normandy. He's got some of the reinforced padding on his elbows and knees, which was very common with the M42 uniform, I believe it was. And then this guy's got an M1 carbine. Little disappointed that they didn't go with the folding stock for the M1 carbine. I know it would be very difficult to sculpt, but that was a very big US airborne sort of thing with the folding stock, especially for the 101st Airborne, if that's what you're going with. Again, we've got another guy. This guy's without a helmet, so he's obviously seen a bit of combat. He's got an M1 carbine as well, but it's got the wooden stock again. So yeah, I feel like that would have been a nice touch if they could have put that in. But other than that, the sculpts are really nice and they look fantastic. This particular sculpt really does give me Dick Winters vibes from Band of Brothers. He just looks so cool. So yeah, probably paint him up for Normandy. The great thing about the US set is it has a mix of the sort of reinforced knees and elbows with the padding. So you can base them for Normandy or Market Garden. So I actually used some of these for Market Garden. I believe one of them even had the knees that I did padding and that, and I just painted over it and tried to hide it as best I could. So yeah, it really does work. I mean, there's not a huge difference between the M42 and the M43 uniforms from what I could tell, especially at this scale, so you could get away with that anyway. And as you can see, the sculpts are just really nice. They look natural. The knees are bent normally, the elbows are bent normally, they're not exaggerated. So he is quite slender in stature, and you'll find that with most of these models, but it really doesn't show on the tabletop, I don't believe it anyway. So you can see there's a little bit of cleanup involved. We need to just get rid of that on the end of the rifle. There's a nice gap between his elbow and torso. So yeah, overall looks really good. Very little cleanup. The helmet scrim was really easy. There was very little cleanup on there, so it dry brushed really well. Moving on to the British Airborne, we're going to start off with some of the personalities. And this first one, I believe, is General Horrocks. On their website, they don't actually state who they are. You can guess 9 out of 10 of them. This one, I was a bit unsure. I'm pretty sure it's General Horrocks. He's got his insignia on his sleeve there, which is a really nice touch. These are chockers full of detail. Like, I remember painting them thinking, oh my God, there's more detail on these than I think I've ever come across. Just every little bit had a real nice amount of detail, which can be quite tricky to paint, but you know, you can't complain. Too much detail I don't think is such a bad thing. And then we've got Jack Reynolds. So he was the one that gave the fingers to the German cameraman when they had surrendered at Arnhem. That is such a nice touch. I did not know he was in the set. When I got him, I thought, this guy is going to be on a diorama for sure. I'm not going to use him as a sort of a gaming piece. He's definitely going to be a diorama. Just what a fantastic sculpt. You just can't go wrong with that. He's got his water bowl in hand, exactly like the picture, which you'll see later on in the video. Then we've got John Killick, I believe. He was a commander of the Parachute Field Security Regiment. I've actually painted him in 28mm from Empress Miniatures. Yeah, really nice touch. Again, you can tell that the sculptor has used historical references for this from the old black and white photos, which is just superb. This kit, or these British Airborne, are really, really nice. Super chuffed with them, actually. Then we've got Digby Walter. So he's carrying his umbrella. He's missing an arm. I'm almost certain I've misplaced that arm somewhere. I don't think it was missed in the kit, but I can't remember because I ordered this quite a few months ago. So I'm going to be picking up another set anyway. So it's not a huge deal. And I'm sure the team at CP could also throw me in a spare arm. Oh, he's probably just lost his other arm. But yeah, really good. There's a little bit of cleanup involved, but really not a lot. Probably the least amount I've had to do for most metal models. The metal is really sturdy. It's not a soft metal. It bends. It's quite difficult to bend, but it means your guns are going to stay nice and straight. Now, I'm not a big fan of this based guy, unfortunately. I love the fact he's got an MG34. I just don't like the base. Adler Miniatures had a really lovely base with spent cartridges, and it was a really thin base. This base is very thick, and it just, if you wanted to do like an urban base for this guy, you wouldn't be able to. The model's great, just not the base. It's just a bummer, but we can make it work. Then we've got John Frost using his horn. It could also be another trooper. I know he really wanted to implement using the horns for communication, and it's a really good thing he did, obviously with the radios not working as they should do. So yeah, really, really good with his hunting horn, and they're just chockers full of equipment, as you'd expect for these British Airborne chaps. Obviously, you could also use these for D-Day as well, but I always try and focus on Market Garden. I think it's mainly because I just love A Bridge Too Far. The smock's got tons of detail in it as well, so you can't knock that. Yeah, really good. And then this is the Polish General. So the Poles aren't forgotten. You can actually get Polish Airborne on the website. This is General Sasabowski, I believe is how it's pronounced. And he's wearing the traditional Polish Airborne beret. So like I said, you can get those Polish Airborne beret chaps from their website too. And then we've got the bases. So the bases are an amazing inclusion if you want bases. I use different bases for my wargaming, which involves chopping off the rectangle bases, but it's relatively straightforward to do. But the fact that they've included them, if you're a first-time gamer, it's just a real useful thing to do, and it's another expense you don't have to worry about. They've also got prone bases as well, and they are like the old style, I think, Warhammer or Lord of the Rings. I'm going back to when I was 14, 13, so many years ago now. But yeah, it's really nice, simple, makes for wargaming straight away, just super easy, which is just another great perk for somebody that's getting into the hobby. Then we've got some painted models. So as I said, I based them individually. Oh, and just on a side note, if you would like the bases that you've just seen, I'm happy to send them free of charge. Just hit me up in the comments section and I'll send you those bases. But this is a member of the AFPU, so the Army Film and Photography Unit. I'm basing this guy for Arnhem as well. There was 3 of them that dropped into Arnhem, so it's a really nice touch that they've included. This is what I really like about these TQD castings, is they've really gone with historical photos and historical personalities to really capture the moment. Now, I believe this guy is from another black and white photo. I just can't find it. I can't put my finger on it. I'm almost certain he is, so I don't have his name at hand. But yeah, really, really nice. Love the beret under the epaulette there. That's a fantastic touch. The hand in the pocket, just really, really nice. And they paint up so well. The facial expressions are awesome too. Then we've got a glider pilot. He's wearing his glider pilot helmet with headsets and what he would have used to communicate in the Horsa glider. And then he's carrying his backpack. The only thing I would have liked to have seen in this set is another glider pilot with his armor plates on, which they use like your sort of bulletproof vests or stab-proof vests, but they used it to protect themselves against flak when they were coming in, etc. I would have really liked to have seen that, but hey, everything else is just perfect. Then we've got some US Airborne. This guy is a medic, I believe. He didn't have the armband. I actually used a bit of green stuff to create that armband, so it's up to you if you want to do that. I just think it really made it just that extra bit special. And obviously painted on the insignia on the helmet too. And then we've got a US Airborne Sniper, something that you don't see a lot of in this scale, so the fact that they've included that is great. As you can tell, I've painted it up in their M43 uniforms. For Market Garden, these are going to be 82nd Airborne. But yeah, really nice. I love these figures. I really love these figures. So overall, I marked CP models 27.5 out of 30. So level of detail 9.5, casting quality 9, and overall satisfaction 9. So they come in second, just under AB figures, which is a fantastic feat. So we've got AB on the left, Adler, CP, and then Simon Soldiers. And you can tell they're all compatible with each other. They all really do look great. They're all individual in terms of they're a bit chunkier or a bit skinnier, but they all work really nicely. And then we just got an Adler with the 2 CP models. And then if you can spot the medic, that's where he is with all the Adler, and they blend in just perfectly. So from the personality set, you can get John Frost, as I've shown you already, with his horn. And you can see that they've gone with the Bridge Too Far sort of look to that one. And then we can get a member of the AFPU. The historical photos from there. Those are the 3 chaps that jumped into Arnhem. And then we've got General Sosabowski from the Polish Brigade. Yeah, just really nice touch with his angry face from A Bridge Too Far, which is what we would have seen in that movie. And then Digby Water with his umbrella and the traditional sort of casual walking pose. So you obviously use the movie a lot for these references. And then we've got Jack Reynolds with his 2 fingers up to the camera. Then the glider pilots with their Horsa glider. That's the tail of a Horsa glider in that picture. And then finally, there's John Killick with his Sten gun walking through the streets, and he was a commander of the Parachute Field Security Regiment. So overall, guys, as you can tell by the excitement in my voice, I absolutely love these models. Now, full disclosure, I actually purchased these models before reaching out to CP Models. I've since reached out to them. I believe they're sending me a few little samples of something else to paint up for the channel in the future. But these were purchased before that, so I'm giving you my full honest review, which I always do anyway. And yeah, I absolutely love this range, or ranges. So I can't wait to see what else I pick up in the future. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a big like and let me know in the comments. If you disagree with my ratings, don't hesitate to let me know. This is just my opinion, so it could definitely be different to yours. I'd really like to know what you think. But other than that, guys, I will leave it here. Oh, and a quick thank you to my Patreons. I mustn't forget those. I really do appreciate all of your support, and channel members. It really does go such a long way. Other than that, guys, as I said, I'll leave it here. Let me know below what you would like to see next, and I will catch you then. Bye.